Hidden deep within Portugal, behind ancient walls, lies the last stronghold of a forgotten brotherhood, the Knights Templar. They were warriors, monks, and legends, and in Tomar, their spirit still lingers. We'll drive 200 kilometers south from Porto to explore the last stronghold of the Templars. The Tomar Castle was founded in 1160 by Gualdim Pais, Grand Master of the Knights Templar. It absorbed parts of a Muslim settlement that dated from the 9th century. This fortified structure shows Arabic features that were new to Portugal at the time. These include an alambor, an inclined reinforcement built at the bottom of the walls. The sloping feature deflected projectiles and prevented siege engines from getting close to the walls. The magnificent Convento de Cristo sits within the castle complex and is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The centerpiece of the convent is the 12th century Rotunda, Oratory of the Templars, which is also called the Charola. Influenced by Jerusalem's Holy Sepulchre Rotunda, the 16-sided design is a typical Templar rotunda, but this is one of the very few remaining examples. It's been suggested that its circular design enabled knights to attend Mass on horseback. Look closely. Templar symbols can be found throughout the rotunda, including on the ceiling. These include the familiar red Templar cross, as well as armillary spheres. The Templars amassed great wealth and influence throughout the religious crusades, but everything came undone from 1307. King Philip IV of France was deeply in debt to the order, so he orchestrated allegations of heresy against the knights. Many were arrested and tortured, and the last French Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burned at the stake. Under pressure from Philip, Pope Clement V dissolved the Knights Templar in 1312. However, Portugal would become the last stronghold of the Templars. King Denis of Portugal remained grateful to the order, whose military expertise was invaluable in the Reconquista, the centuries-long process of reclaiming the Iberian Peninsula from Moorish rule. Denis convinced the Pope to allow him to form a new order, known as the Order of Christ, which essentially offered the former knights protection under a new name. He also welcomed many Templar refugees to Portugal, who brought astronomical, nautical and cartographic knowledge with them. The Templar castle in Tomar became the centre of such knowledge during the Age of Discoveries in the 15th and 16th centuries. It helped Portugal support and finance maritime expeditions, discover new sea routes to Asia and expand the Portuguese Empire. Prince Henry the Navigator led the Order of Christ for 20 years, and King Manuel I of Portugal was a Grand Master. The second most notable feature of the convent was added in 1513. It's the magnificent Manueline Window that dominates the western facade. It celebrates the Age of Discoveries, with a tangle of maritime features including seaweed and twisting ropes carved from stone. The top of the window features a large Templar cross, armillary spheres and a royal coat of arms. Down below the castle and convent, the influence of the Templars still permeates Tomar, a town that was founded by Gualdim Pais. A statue of Pais commands attention in the Praça da República, the town's main square. He was ordained a knight in 1139 and fought against the Moors. He became the master of the Order of the Temple in 1157 and held the position for 40 years. The statue faces the Igreja de São João Baptista, a church whose construction Pais is believed to have ordered whilst the castle was still being built. However, the current iteration of the church was not completed until the 16th century. The church's tower features engravings of the Templar cross and an armillary sphere. Another sphere sits at the top of the tower's spire. Inside the church, the pulpit is adorned with a large Templar cross. But a church with much more significance to the Templars sits on the opposite side of the Nabao River. Gualdim Pais also ordered the construction of this temple in the 12th century, intending it to be the final resting place of the Templar masters. The current structure was built in the 13th century. Pais was buried in this church along with other Templar masters. The church was also used for Templar initiation ceremonies. During the Age of Discoveries, this small church was designated as the mother church for all overseas churches in the conquered territories. This led some to refer to the church as the Vatican of the Templars. Sadly, during the 16th century, the tombs of the Templar masters were desecrated as part of the reforms led by King João III. Nevertheless, the tombstone of Gualdim Pais still exists on the wall of the second chapel. A separate watchtower stands in front of the church that has been converted to a bell tower. It's said that a secret tunnel runs from the tower to the castle and that it was used by the Templars. There is a partially obliterated five-pointed star above the door of the church, and a window above the altar also features such a star, one of the known symbols used by the Templars. We can only imagine what secrets this church bore witness to. The people of Tomar have embraced their connection to the Templars. This is reflected through the presence of murals and the names of businesses throughout the town. There's also a huge festival every 4 years. It includes a torchlit Knights Parade, medieval banquets, and a reenactment of the Moorish siege of 1190 of the Knights Templar Castle. The next festival is planned to take place between the 10th and the 13th of July 2025. The Templars continued to exert influence in Portugal for centuries after the order was dissolved by the Pope, albeit under a different name. So Portugal truly was the last stronghold of the Templars. They played a crucial role in the Age of Discoveries, helping Portugal to transform into a global power as it extended its empire around the globe. The ships of that age were emblazoned with the Templar cross on their sails. The history of the Templars is shrouded in legend, myths and secrets. They are believed to have possessed valuable treasures and religious relics, the most notable being the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. It's been suggested that the Holy Grail was transported from the Middle East to Portugal and that it was hidden in the Manueline Castle. It's also been suggested that great treasures were buried in the tunnels beneath Tomar Castle. The widely held superstition associating bad luck with Friday the 13th is also connected to the Templars. It arose from the mass arrests of Templar knights on Friday the 13th of October 1307. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I have another one coming soon featuring more attractions in Tomar. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.